Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something pretty revolutionary, I think, how artificial intelligence is really stepping up to become a kind of personal mentor.
Yeah, it's quite a shift. We've been looking at some, well, fascinating stuff coming out. Google's AI Studio, NotebookLM, Perplexity AI.
Exactly. And thinking about how these tools are, changing the whole learning game, not just in education, but media, business, tech, really everywhere.
It definitely feels like we're hitting a tipping point. AI isn't just fetching answers anymore. It's starting to actually guide how we understand things, helping us learn more deeply. That's what we want to dig into today.
Absolutely, because let's face it, there's just so much information out there, isn't there? Videos, courses, articles. It's easy to feel swamped.
Totally overloaded.
And that's where these AI mentors, as we're calling them, come in. They're designed to do more than just give you facts. They help you make sense of it all, structure your learning, maybe even practice a bit, like a super smart study buddy who's always on call.
That's a good way to put it. The sources we looked at really drive home this evolution. AI is becoming less of a database, more of an active partner in, well, how we think and grow.
Okay, so let's jump into some specific tools. First up, Google's AI Studio. What really caught my eye in the demos, especially the one with Logan Kilpatrick, wasn't just speed, but how it handles huge amounts of info.
Right. What's really impressive with Google using their Gemini models there is how it chews through massive data sets. Remember that Natural History Museum video example?
Yeah.
Feeding it a 3-minute video and then just asking for a list of all the exhibits mentioned? That suddenly makes synthesizing info from videos or long talks way faster. It frees you up to think about the meaning, not just the raw data.
Exactly. Processing, what was it? Over 500,000 tokens from one video. It just shows how much knowledge is locked up in audio and video that we can now get to. It's not just summarizing, it's pulling out specific, usable details.
And think about the implications, like they pointed out, for creating resource lists or pulling key points from hours of podcasts, stuff that used to take ages.
Uh-huh.
But it's not just about analyzing content that's already there. AI Studio also showed some pretty interesting reasoning skills.
You mean the part where it took that little code snippet and basically brainstormed a whole website concept from it?
Exactly that. And seeing the thoughts section in the interface, where you could literally watch the AI figure things out step by step.
Yeah, that was illuminating. Like watching its thought process, its own little outline.
It really shows a leap forward, doesn't it? It's not just spitting out an answer, it's showing how it got there, breaking down the problem.
Yeah.
That reasoning and planning bit is key to these newer AI abilities.
And making those models available for developers to experiment with for free in AI Studio, that's a big deal for getting more people involved.
Definitely lowers the barrier to entry.
And then there was that spatial understanding demo, analyzing the image, figuring out where objects were in real time.
Yeah, the coordinates thing. That opens up possibilities for, I don't know, inventory management, visualizing furniture, all sorts of things. And this ability to handle different data types at once, images, text, code, that's where it gets really powerful. It starts to blur the lines between applications.
And connecting it to other tools like Google Maps for that GeoGuessr game, it shows how easily you can weave AI into existing things to make them better or create totally new stuff.
Right.
But honestly, for me, the absolute game changer was that live streaming demo, the multimodal live API.
The AI co-presence.
Yes, that idea. The AI seeing your screen, offering suggestions while you work, like debugging code. That felt like a glimpse of the future.
AI co-presence.
Yeah.
It really is a fundamental shift. Imagine having an AI partner that sees what you see, gets the context instantly, and helps right then and there.
It's huge.
The coding example is obviously powerful, but think about education, or remote tech support with visual guides, or even collaborating on creative projects. It could seriously lower the barrier for learning technical skills by giving that immediate visual feedback. It's like it has eyes on your screen with you.
It really did feel like having a senior developer just, sitting next to you, ready to help instantly.
And the fact that they've put the setup, the starter code, all out on GitHub, that makes it so much easier for people to actually start building with this stuff.
Yeah, it makes it tangible.
And the point they made is important. Maybe the tech isn't perfect yet. Maybe the voice needs work, whatever. But the core capability, the doors it opens, that's immense. It can spark connections you wouldn't have made otherwise.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Let's talk about NotebookLM. Another Google tool, but with a really different focus. Jeff Su's demo really sold it as your personal document-based mentor.
Yeah, NotebookLM is fascinating because its whole thing is working with your stuff, the content you upload. So if you're a student drowning in PDFs, scattered lecture notes, slides, this is built to bring order to that chaos.
Right, and the emphasis is on accuracy, right? Trying to minimize the AI just making things up.
Exactly. That's a key selling point, especially when you need reliable answers based on specific material.
So you upload your files, PDFs, maybe transcripts you grabbed from YouTube, even just copied text, and NotebookLM summarizes that content, answers questions using only that content.
And crucially, shows you exactly where in your documents it found the answer. That citation aspect is huge for building trust and for focused study.
Definitely. I liked that source guide feature he showed, summarizing that dense medical report. Instantly useful.
And then being able to ask follow-up questions, drawing from all the documents you uploaded, even if the question started from just one, that shows how it connects the dots across your information.
Yeah, like the example asking about health trends across several years of reports. Doing that manually would take ages.
Hours, easily.
But NotebookLM does it almost instantly, and again, those citations backing everything up. So important for confidence, especially with health info or academic work. It really nails that need for, solid data with sources you can check.
Absolutely. It addresses that core need for reliability. You see the answer and its origin in your own materials. And saving useful answers as notes is smart too, recognizing the AI isn't constantly learning from your private data, which respects privacy.
The fasting example was good too. Asking about contraindications based on your health reports, plus a video in a book, that shows how it synthesizes different source types for personalized insight.
And when he asked it something not of the sources and it correctly said, I don't know, but here's related stuff I do have, that shows nuance.
It gets the boundaries of its knowledge.
Right. And it's important to grasp the distinction they made. NotebookLM and Gemini might share underlying tech, but NotebookLM is fine-tuned for accuracy from your sources, minimizing hallucinations. Gemini is broader, more conversational, maybe more creative.
So different tools for different jobs. NotebookLM is for when you need reliable answers grounded specifically in the stuff you fed it.
Precisely.
And the practical uses Jeff Su mentioned, organizing manuals, tax docs, prepping for job interviews by uploading the description and your resume.
Super practical. That focused knowledge retrieval idea sums it up. Instead of wading through docs, just ask NotebookLM based on your curated sources.
Yeah.
And the tip for blocked websites, just copy-paste the text, very handy.
Yeah, good workaround.
Yeah.
I also liked the idea of it being a project context engine for anyone juggling complex projects with info scattered everywhere.
Emails, notes, documents.
Yeah. Being able to generate briefing docs, timelines, FAQs from all that fragmented stuff. Huge productivity boost.
Yeah.
And uploading meeting transcripts to pull out action items.
Darn.
Genius.
Oh, yeah. Asking, what are the outstanding tasks from this meeting based on the transcript? That streamlines everything, helps keep track. And using past project notes to ask what worked well last time.
Smart. And for staying current, that earnings analysis notebook idea was brilliant. Mixing earnings reports with analyst articles, then asking targeted questions about strategy or comparing companies. That shows AI synthesizing really complex info.
It really highlights how AI helps you see connections and get a deeper understanding. And the point that AI often enhances tools rather than just replacing them. Crucial. Plus, the auto-updating from Google Docs slides means your notebook stays current.
Okay, one more major player here, Perplexity AI. Jeff Su's guide positioned this one as the go-to for accuracy, especially when you need up-to-the-minute info and solid proof.
Perplexity's core identity, really, is providing answers directly linked to sources. Every fact comes with a citation journal, website, whatever. That's its big advantage when you need research-grade accuracy and want to verify things yourself.
That's the real and strong data with backing resources element right there.
Exactly. And offering the option to keep your data private from their training models while still saving your chat history. That's a good balance for privacy-conscious users.
And it was good he clarified that Perplexity Pro isn't just giving you access to, say, paid ChatGPT. They might use similar base models sometimes, but they're fine-tuned totally differently.
Right. Different strengths, different purposes. Understanding that is key to picking the right tool.
What about that focus feature in Perplexity?
Oh, yeah, that's very useful. Letting you narrow the search, whole web, just academic papers, news, YouTube, Reddit. It helps you zero in on the type of information you need, really refines the results.
Makes sense. The example troubleshooting Wi-Fi was pretty down to earth too. Step-by-step instructions, links to help centers, even relevant videos. It
Yeah.
felt very practical and actionable.
Mm-hmm. And comparing the Olympic gold medals query to a standard Google search really showed Perplexity's strength,
Hmm.
giving you the answer directly, sourced, without you having to click through a bunch of links hoping to find it.
Yeah, much more direct. Though Google's AI overview is kind of moving in that direction too.
True, that's probably its closest competitor in that specific function.
I was really intrigued by the collections feature in Perplexity, though, especially that Japan trip planning example.
Ah, yeah, the persona setting.
Telling the AI to act like an experienced travel agent for that specific collection, and then having all the chat within it follow that instruction, that's super useful for tailored research.
It really shows the power of customization and keeping context over a longer conversation. Set instructions once for the collection, and it becomes a specialized assistant for that task, whether it's travel planning or, like the other example, outlining a consulting framework.
Right, structures the output.
And it was good that he was honest about its limitations too, right? Saying ChatGPT might be better for pure brainstorming, like thumbnail ideas.
Yeah, reinforces that idea. Different tools excel at different things. No single AI is best for everything.
Knowing those strengths, Perplexity for accuracy and cited facts, ChatGPT may be more for creativity, Gemini for interactivity, NotebookLM for your personal data, that's how you use them effectively.
Okay, so we've talked about these powerful tools. AI Studio, NotebookLM, Perplexity, ChatGPT Custom GPTs, even Pi AI for soft skills. It's a lot. How can listeners actually, get started without just feeling buried in options?
Yeah, good question. I think the key is to start simple. First, maybe pick just one main learning goal. What's one specific thing you want to get better at or understand more deeply right now?
Okay, one goal.
Then, maybe choose just two tools that seem like they fit that goal. Maybe NotebookLM to process your notes on the topic,
Yeah.
and Perplexity to do some wider cited research.
So complement each other.
Exactly. And then try to dedicate just a little bit of time, regularly, maybe 30 minutes a day, just actively using those tools for your goal. Small, consistent effort adds up.
Makes sense. Daily habit.
And finally, maybe once a week, take a few minutes to reflect. What did you actually learn? What worked? What didn't? You could use Pi AI for that kind of conversational reflection, or just jot notes in ChatGPT or a real notebook.
I like that. Build in reflection. So it's not just about consuming, but integrating.
Precisely. It's those small, consistent steps that lead to real growth. And remember, these AI mentors aren't replacing humans or traditional learning completely. They're amplifiers, powerful tools to boost access to knowledge and get personalized guidance.
Right. So, quick recap. NotebookLM is great for learning from your stuff.
Yep. Gemini, especially via AI Studio, is powerful for building things, getting that live support.
ChatGPT lets you shape your own custom tutor.
Perplexity is your go-to for fact-checking and deep-sighted research.
And Pi AI offers that space for reflection and maybe soft skills growth.
It paints a picture of learning becoming much more modular, much more personalized, tailored to you. And the exciting part is these tools are making that future accessible now to anyone who's curious.
Absolutely. We'll make sure to put links to all the tools and the demos we talked about in the show notes, so definitely check those out. And hey, if you found this useful, maybe share this deep dive with someone else who's looking to upskill or just learn something new.
For sure. And, this field is moving so fast. What we're seeing now is likely just the beginning. These tools will get smarter, more integrated. It's going to be fascinating to watch.
Couldn't agree more. Well, thanks for exploring all this with us today. We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.